As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Coach Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Folks, today it's been a joy and a pleasure to be back here on air to share some wisdom, some advice, some information, and some knowledge to entrepreneurs. And guys, I've been behind the scenes for the last 3 weeks, and I'm okay with that as long as I can talk to you guys. So, co-host, how you doing today?
I'm good. It's been a busy week, but good.
I know you've done some amazing things over the last week or so. You were out of state. So tell us a little bit about that, co-host.
Well, last week I was out of state. I was for our child's, our students' competition. And then this week, I went to the State of Blackout, hosted by the Los Angeles Urban League. So that's been my week.
That's pretty much it.
That's it. That was it.
So, how many contestants were there at this entrepreneurial competition?
There were 60.
60?
60. And she competed first round, but she and she was a little devastated. She came out of it okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was proud of her.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. So now we're at the place where we have to work hard at our the business now. So
I hear that.
Got to put the energy into the business. You know what? Let me see if I can come off of. I'm gonna change the speaker because this is gonna drive me nuts.
And your audio sound kind of low.
All right, let me take the Getty out.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
While you do that, I'll talk to the folks a little bit, let them know about this program, what it's about, and how they can benefit from it. So while my co-host is getting reconnected, guys, I just want to speak to you. This is Coach Gilbert Buchanan, and this is the Business Zone. We're on every Friday from 3 to 4:30. My co-host is Crystal Mitchell, Coach Crystal Mitchell. And we're here to help small businesses set up their infrastructure, set up their back office, get themselves business ready, contract ready, bank loan ready, and even nonprofit ready, so you guys can go after opportunities. We're about helping you, showing you guys, providing you resources so you can become self-sufficient, grow your business. Now, we've been on the air since 2016, guys, and from what I've seen, I don't see any other podcast here in Los Angeles County that's doing what we're doing. So we're going to go ahead and claim that status. We're going to claim the #1 small business podcast here in Los Angeles County, guys, until someone can show up and say, hey, I'm better than you guys, and show some proof, some receipts. Then we'll give up the title. But as far as we're concerned, we're the #1 right now. We run this thing. We run Los Angeles County. As far as I'm concerned.
All righty then, cuz. I don't know if that's okay. Okay, I'll take it.
Well, I don't see any competitors out there, so hey, I'm claiming this title. So guys, if you're an entrepreneur and you would love to come on this podcast, you want to share your information on your product, your services, talk a little bit about your business. Let the audience know what is it you do and how you can benefit consumers or clients. Then you can come on this podcast. We'll give you a voice and let you share your information so that the public can know what is it you offer in the marketplace, whether it's a product or a service or products or services. Then we'll be happy to do that. We'll even interview you on this podcast, and we'll also provide you some material so you can use that for your marketing as well. And that's just how we roll as business coaches. There are quite a few activities going on here in Los Angeles and in California. So next year, we're looking forward to participating in the NBA All-Star Games. And when I say we're going to participate, I'm talking about small businesses showing a presence, providing their product, their services, so they can sell those products and services to individuals and participants at those events. We also have the FIFA World Cup, folks, next year. And, I've been talking about this for years now. And now it's coming to fruition where, only a few months we'll have the FIFA World Cup happening here in California. So, guys, be ready, be steady, and let's grow. I want you guys, if you're not quite sure of how to participate in these events, give us a call here or send us an email. I'll put my email information and my phone number in the chat. My co-host will do the same. And if you guys need to become ready, you need to be prepared to be ready to participate in those events, then you let us know. We can do one-on-one consulting, one-on-one coaching, or we can hold workshops that will help to prepare you guys for that. So I want you guys not to think that those events are too big for you or it's out of your league. Just remember this: any event that goes on here in Los Angeles, in the state of California, you can participate in that. Just remember, the other guys who are popular and out there in the marketplace, they once were where you are right now. They never had an opportunity, and they've been trying just like you are. And then, bam, one day they get an opportunity. And then all of a sudden, they're out there. They're the talk of the town. They're pretty prominent. So you too can become prominent. But you just need to become ready first. Build that infrastructure. Build that back office. And I did a workshop a few weeks ago about the back office, because a lot of small businesses are in business, but they're not quite sure what the back office is. I want you to think of the back office just like this. If you have a boat, a sailboat, a yacht, at the back of the boat, you have some engines, right? You may have 2, you may have 3, 4, it doesn't matter how many they are, but that's the engine that drives the boat. So that's what your back office does. It drives your business. And what's in the back office? Well, you have your operational documents, you've got your business license, your business plan, your financials, financial reporting, your tax returns. You have your SWOT analysis, Form W-9, your articles of incorporation, articles of organization, whether you're an LLC or corporation. So all those documents are there. Your tax ID, Dun & Bradstreet number, all of those things are in your back office, guys, because you need that to run the business daily. And then once you're doing those things, it makes it easier for you to gain access to other types of things like marketing, sales, advertising, and talking to your customers, dealing with them one-on-one or dealing with them in a group setting. So that's how that works, folks. But you got to have that back office in order. That back office really drives things for your business. And if you have a weak back office, then you're going to have a weak business operation. I'm going to say that again, guys. If you have a weak back office, you're going to have a weak business operation. And of course, the lifeblood of your business, guess what that is, guys? Your financials, the accounting, the bookkeeping, the operation. That's what my co-host does. She's a specialist in that. As a matter of fact, I've known quite a few bookkeepers and accountants here in LA County and surrounding counties. I don't know anyone who is solid as my co-host, guys. And I'm not just bragging because she's my co-host. I've seen her at work. I've seen what she does. She knows her stuff, guys. She knows her stuff. Now, when it comes down to it, when the rubber hits the road, you want to have someone in your corner who understands how finance works, how accounting works, how the bookkeeping works. What are the principles? How do you use those things to grow? That's what you want to know, guys. My co-host, she could close her eyes and tell you those things. Do you agree, co-host?
I do agree, and I guess it's because I've been doing this for such a long time that and with a number of different organizations and businesses that is like second nature for me. Yeah. So. But in fact, that's where we're going to go today with our conversation. Is are you your business set up today for the future, or do you have a business model that has become outdated and it's time to abandon it and adapt the new tools and things business run smoother.
So those are questions, guys, that you want to ask yourselves, because my co-host, she's asking some solid questions there. And, you know, if you're a growing business, you're trying to advance, you're trying to trend in the marketplace, those are questions you got to have answers to.
Yeah, we're working on the feedback right now. Again, what I may have to come out and come back in.
Okay.
Because it's me that's doing it now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, while you work on that, I'll keep informing the audience here.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Yes. Can't wait for you to get back in. Okay.
Okay.
So, folks, just like my co-host said, what's trending right now is entrepreneurs really knowing what they're doing, understanding their business, understanding the marketplace, and understanding their customers. If you don't understand those three things, guys, then it doesn't make sense getting involved in entrepreneurship, because the business is not going to grow. All of those work together. They work symbiotically. So knowing your audience, knowing the marketplace, and knowing your business, those are key. You go to a bank looking for a line of credit or a loan, bankers are going to ask you certain questions about those three things that I just described to you. And if those things are not in place, guys, then it's probably going to be a long day for you at that bank trying to get a line of credit or a loan. Now, before we move on, I just want you guys to know that this is a podcast that's on every Friday from 3 to 4:30. It's called The Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. And what we do here is we provide resource, knowledge, information, and guidance to small businesses to help your business become business ready, contract ready, bank loan ready, or even nonprofit ready. So if you don't think that you're ready, or you're not sure if you're ready, reach out to us. We have an assessment tool that we use, and that assessment tool, it tells us how ready you are. And based on that level of readiness, then we can go ahead and put you in a category. And I want to shout out to one of my favorite clients there, Miss Andrea Vigil. Andrea, we've known each other for a long time. She's been a big supporter of this program. I've been a big supporter of her company, and she is just phenomenal. She's an example of what I'm talking to you guys about, readiness. You know, when I first met Andrea in Las Vegas, her company is called Allegiant Electric LLC, electrical. And she was one of the first contractors to work on that stadium, the Raider Stadium there in Las Vegas, guys. The Raider Stadium in Las Vegas. She was one of those first contractors on our project back in 2019. You know, so I just want you guys to know that we're broadcast near and far, and we've got a lot of prominent small businesses here. So, Miss Andrea, I just want to say big shout out to you, your company, and your staff. And let us know if you've gotten any other contracts. She's gotten quite a few contracts since I met her, guys. And that excites me a lot because you don't get contracts if you're not doing things right. You don't get contracts if your back office is not in order. You don't get contracts if you don't know your marketplace and if you don't know your customers. So obviously she knows those things. So that's why she's getting contracts. So Andrea, let us know if you've gotten any new contracts. We'd really love to hear that. And she's been holding down the Vegas landscape with small businesses. So I would just love to hear from her. So my co-host is back on the screen.
I am back.
Yeah, your voice sounds a little bit more powerful now. So
yeah, but I still hear the feedback.
Yeah, your banner, your logo is flipped backwards. It's in that mirror position. So, and we also have Black Business Los Angeles online here, and they said there was a feedback. Do we still have a feedback? Please let me know, Black Business. Welcome back. Thank you. So, Black Business Los Angeles online community, please let me know if you're still hearing our feedback. And Andrea, please let us know, about your current business status, and hopefully you can participate in some of these contracts here next year with the FIFA World Cup. They're going to need a lot of electrical contractors to do a lot of setup for locations and all of that. So that may be a good thing for you. Let me see. No by yourself? No. Okay. So Crystal, they're not hearing feedback on my side. So I guess it's coming from your side. Yeah, it's coming from your side. So let's see if we can clean that up a little bit. And so Black Business Los Angeles online community. If you have a community of small businesses that you're working with, we'll be happy to provide information to them, help them to become ready. Several things are going to have to happen in order for you guys to become ready and get your infrastructure in order in your back office. At one point, you will need to become certified, either as a minority-owned business, a disadvantaged business enterprise, a small business enterprise, a woman-owned business enterprise, or a local small business enterprise. Now, the advantage of having a local small business enterprise is that if the county awards a contract and now it's been extended to Metro, if they award a contract, one of the things they do if you're local and you're small, then they give you a 5 to 10% discount depending on the project. You could get a 5 to 10% discount, and based on that discount, it will lower your bid price. So when that lowers your bid price, and if you're the winning bid, then they add back that discount to your bid price. So you get the full amount instead of a discounted amount. So that's how that works for you guys. So it's very important for you guys to understand those things. So when you're bidding, you can have a better chance of winning those bids. And being certified as a local small business enterprise is great. A small business enterprise, a disadvantaged business enterprise, a woman-owned and minority, just the same. Now, there are some of you who may want to do business with the utilities, like the Edisons, the gas company, AT&T, Verizon, the cable companies, Spectrum, you name it. They have opportunities as well, and they have their own certifications as well too. So it's good for you guys to first understand what market you want to play in, and then find out the rules of that market. You know, what type of certifications they have, what is it they're looking for from small businesses. We can provide that. As a matter of fact, I teach certification workshops, and all 24 certifications that's being held and honored in Los Angeles County. I'll say that again. There are 24 different certifications that's being held and honored here in Los Angeles County. I teach workshops on all 24 of those. So if there are any of you who are interested in learning that, please, you let me know. We'll do a workshop. And even if it's 10, 15, or 20 of you guys, we'll do a workshop for that and give you that information so you understand what is needed. And our goal here on the Business Zone is to make sure you guys are confident and competent. So if you're confident, meaning that you've got all the paperwork you need, and competent means that you're able to articulate your level of competency, then that's what we're trying to do for you guys. So when you go out there in front of contract providers, you can really articulately let them know how your value proposition can help them achieve their goals and objective, or advance to that desired area of what they're trying to do. So it seemed like my co-host is back. Co-host?
Okay,
how you sounding?
Yeah, it's still there.
Still there. Yeah, I heard a little. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out as we go along.
Yeah, let me. Yeah, but that's gonna be annoying.
Yeah, I know. Try turning down the volume just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. I can still hear the feedback.
Yeah. So something is going. You know what? Instead of doing your image on there, just go live.
No, can't go live. I didn't put makeup on. I didn't comb hair. I didn't do any of that. So no, can't do that.
Fernando said there's some echo on there. So he's hearing some echo on your side. So
all right, you keep doing what you're doing, and let me see how I can fix it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So folks, like I was saying, if you guys need to have a workshop on certifications, you let me know, because there has not been a real workshop on certifications in a long time. So I'm planning, and as a matter of fact, let's see what this date is going to be. I am planning, okay. So November 11th, that's a Tuesday. November 11th, that's a Tuesday. I'm planning on launching what I call a next level contract readiness mentorship program. Okay, next level contract readiness mentorship program. And in that program, I'm going to teach you guys, entrepreneurs, I'm going to teach you how to develop statement of qualifications, how to develop your capability statement. We're going to do elevator pitches. I'm going to teach you guys how to do that, and so you can pitch it yourself live to your classmates. We're also going to teach you how to write proposals, how to develop a winning proposal, how to go after contract opportunities. So you're going to search those out, and I'll show you how. You search those out, and when you find it, you'll respond to those RFPs. And I'll show you some tricks and trade, how to do your pricing and all of those things. So that's a program that I put together, a mentorship program. So in that program, you're gonna be consulted. So I'll consult with you guys. I'll also coach you guys. I'll also hold your hands and show you how this procurement and contracting process work. And I'm working with over 30 years in this industry, guys. 30 years. So I've worked on the inside with many public work agencies such as LA Unified School District, LA Community College District, LA Metro, and all of those big players that you can think of, the mayor's office, City of Los Angeles. I even work with some of the private large primes, such as Kiewit Infrastructure. So we've done quite a few of those. And I've also traveled the whole state of California teaching Latino-owned businesses how to become business ready, contract ready as well. I even got an award for that. So I just want to let you guys know that you're in good hands. So November 11th, that's a Tuesday, is when we're going to hold this class. And I'll send out material. If you guys are interested, put your email, your name and contact information in the chat so I can reach out to you guys, send you the announcement materials and all of that. So the first class is going to be an elevator pitch, how to write one and how to deliver one effectively. So that's the first class, which is going to be on the 11th. Then after that, we will do other classes on writing your capability statement, your statement of qualifications, how to respond to an RFP, how you put together a proposal, how to do past performance. Because when you're bidding on projects, you got to talk about past performance. How good have you been over the last few years? Do you have any references? What projects have you worked on? How outstanding were you on those projects? So all of those things we'll talk about, guys. We also talk about pricing. And I'll give you a preview of my new book that I'm writing right now. It will be complete by then. So you guys will get a copy, a pre-release copy of my new book on procurement and contracting. So in there, you're going to have guidelines on how to respond to RFPs, how to do your pricing, how to read the marketplace, how to reach out to contract providers and make them become your friends. Co-host, are you back?
I think so.
Okay, you sound a little better now.
Okay.
Yeah, you sound a little better.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So folks, so those are some of the things we're going to do. I'm going to put my information in the chat. And as a bonus, we're bringing co-host Crystal, and she can talk to you guys a little bit about bookkeeping and accounting in our program. So your books are going to need to be looked at. So we'll have her, and she will talk to you guys about how she can do that for you. It's not a part of the program, but you're going to need to have her look at your books. So you guys can decide how you want to make that arrangement with her, but you're going to need her eyes and her wisdom. Okay?
All righty.
All right.
Okay, guys. So we're gonna. Can you still hear the echo?
A little bit, but we'll work through it. We'll work through it.
Okay. So today we're basically talking about how you can be in the now with your business and making sure that your business is not outdated. I guess we are working in a very highly technical world, and so we want to make sure everyone is working to that level. That sounds horrible, Gilbert. I don't know if anybody else can hear it, but it sounds crazy to me.
Yeah. I think they can hear it too.
Okay, let me here. You work. I'm going to give you a background, and then you can work with that, and then I'll come back.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't have any earphones in. I don't have anything in.
Okay.
Nothing's in. So there's no headphones. There's nothing on. Let me see. Let me do this for you.
All right. So while my co-host is doing that, guys, I gave you guys some information earlier. If you're interested in that, please put your email, your phone number, and contact information in the chat. I'll reach out to you guys after this program is done today, this podcast. And we're really serious about helping you guys grow your business next level. You guys need to. There's a lot of small businesses in the marketplace right now, and a lot of the resources that you used to get from government agencies, they've been cut. The current administration that's out there right now in Washington, they're cutting small business programs left, right, and center. So we want to make sure we still provide those resources to you guys. And when we do, we want to provide it as a discount to you guys, so you guys can still afford it. So that's where we're going. And to get unlimited coaching and consulting, that's unheard of. I don't know any consultants who give you unlimited coaching in any programs. That's what you'll be getting here, because we want to make sure you guys win. We want to make sure you win, and that's what we're going to do for you guys. All right. So again, if you're a small business and you're trying to gain access to contract opportunity, procurement opportunity, you want to reach out to us here at the Business Zone. We're here every Friday from 3 to 4:30. And we can even get you on the show as a guest, so you can talk to an audience, let them know what is it you offer. And there might be a few customers listening that may say, hey, you know what? I've been looking for that service for the longest time, and I like this person who's delivering it. So let me reach out to them and try to do some business with them. That could be you guys. That could be you. So that's what we're trying to do here today. All right. So today, we're going to be talking about how small businesses can trend in a certain direction. So let me just pop this up real quickly. And what it says, the title of the show today is Why Traditional Business Models Are Not Working Anymore. Why traditional business models are not working anymore. Now, as you know, every entrepreneur who is in business need to have a business model. And some may be wondering, what is a business model? Well, a business model is that framework that you put together to show how your business is going to be run, how it's going to be shaped, and how is it going to be framed. So business model usually is on one page. It's a one-page document, but it has 9 categories. And those 9 categories, you must be able to articulate how each one of those 9 categories will function. One of that is your value proposition. One is your distribution channel. How are you going to get your product and services to the marketplace? One of them is your cost structure. What type of costs your company is going to have, whether it's administrative, whether it's going to be payroll, whether it's going to be product, service, systems, whatever. All of those costs you need to have some information on and be able to articulate. Relationships, what type of relationships you're going to have and with whom. Those are valuable to your business as well. Then financial streams or revenues. Financial streams, those are critical too. You want to have at least 5 to 7 different streams of revenue in your business in order for it to grow and be sustainable. So a lot of people, they have a business, they open a business, they only have one way of making money, and it's selling the product or services they do. But in order for you to make more money, you want to sell other line items, other services, invest in other types of activities that can bring some money into your business. And, that's the new trend in business right now. Instead of selling one type of product or services, people are looking at doing multiple different types of sources for their business to bring in that revenue. Because remember, one of the reasons you're doing this, guys, banks are not lending small businesses money. They're not doing that. They don't care about us. They don't care about small businesses. They'll lend their rich friends, their big friends, but they're not lending us anything. So we got to be creative and come up with the funds that we need. We can't go to the families and we can't go to friends because many of them don't have the money that we need. So we got to figure out strategic ways of getting those money to run these businesses. And in order for you to run those businesses and obtain the funding you need, you got to have a great infrastructure, a great back office. You got to be ready, guys. You got to have those documents. And I have a set of documents here that every legal structure needs to run their business. You know, whether you're a sole prop, whether you're a partnership, whether you're LLC, S Corp, C Corp, or even a nonprofit, all those different structures, they need to have those key documents to show how you're going to run that business. So those are some of the key things we're looking at. Now, on staying on topic today, I wanted to first let me check and see where my co-host is. Co-host, are you back yet? No, co-host is not back yet. So you know, in running this topic that we're doing today, you know, why traditional entrepreneurship is failing, and what can you do to make it better or to advance it. I want to let you guys know that, you know, the traditional path to entrepreneurship is no more. It's not the way it used to be before, where you start a business by writing a business plan, and then, you know, you do your market research, you do your feasibility study, then you try to obtain funding, whether it's from your bank account or family, or you get a loan from the bank, or you get investors to invest in your business. And then you launch the business and you grow the business. And then years later, you have your exit strategy where you decide to exit the market if you want to, or you can sell the business if you want to, or you just grow it next level. So that's the traditional way of starting, running, managing, and advancing your business. Now, today, it's a little different. It's a little different today, guys. Banks are not looking at us. So we got to come up with strategic ways of doing this. We got to try to find small investors who may want to invest, you know. And some people talk about selling shares in your business. I strongly don't believe in doing that when you're starting your business. When you've grown to a certain part of your business cycle, you can do that. But when you're within 0 to 5 or 7 years in your business, you may just want to have people do what we call profit sharing. So they'll invest in your business, but instead of them getting shares, they will get profit sharing. So whatever profit you make, you share that between you and those people who are investing in your business. So instead of you giving up some of your business, you're only giving up some of the revenues. So that's how I've been doing my business. A lot of people have approached me and want to buy shares in my business, but I just don't feel like that, because I have a certain vision for my business. And if my vision is not in line with their vision, they might want to say, I'm not feeling this anymore, so I want my 20% share or whatever. So, but if it's profit sharing, then all they get is the share of the profit that you make, and then they cannot claim any shares in your business. So those are two different things. And this is a somewhat of a new trend in entrepreneurship right now. Many entrepreneurs are not just giving up shares in their business, but they're managing it more effectively. All right. So let's take a look at some of the things that can benefit you. And I'd love you guys to give me some input too. Let me look at the chat and see if you guys are contributing any of these nice tidbits of information. Okay, so this is what we call the disruptive entrepreneurship, right? So we're doing business differently, guys. And if you notice, a lot of business is being conducted online right now, because that's the different way of doing business. Instead of having a storefront, and most of us learned that approach during the COVID days, back in 2020, when we couldn't go out, couldn't talk to people, couldn't touch people, couldn't be in the same space as many people. but we still have to conduct our business and try to figure out a way how to do it. So what we did a lot of our business online. We figured out ways how to reach people, and that's how a lot of podcasts were developed in 2020. So our on-air presence was built in 2020 when we start doing our podcast, but our program started in 2016 when we worked we had a radio station that we were transmitting this information to entrepreneurs. All right. So I want to say shout out to Pat. Pat, thank you for joining us. Pat is at the Mobile Notary Services, and I really want to appreciate her for supporting us here. We also have Spruce and Gusside. Spruce and Gusside. Yeah, definitely. So I want to say that. I want to say shout out again to Fernando Young. Fernando Young has been one of our day ones who's been there with us. Pat also has been one of our day one. Andrea has been one of our day one. Andrea Vigil, one of our day ones as well. So thank you guys. Really appreciate the support. So if you guys have any questions or any input you want to provide us, please go ahead and do that so we can share that information. Okay. All right. So let me jump into this program right here and share some of this information with you guys. All right. So some of the problems that we're experiencing, as you know, with entrepreneurship is a capital part of it. I personally have gotten to the point where I don't look to banks anymore for any capital assistance because I've gone to them many a times and they've rejected us for whatever stupid reason. They never really tell you the real reason, you know. But what I do with my small businesses, I prepare them so when they go, they don't get rejected so horribly. And one of the ways in which you can prevent rejection is having your financials in order, because when you go to a bank, the loan officers will ask you questions about your ratios. What's your quick ratio? What's your current ratio? What's your working capital ratios? A lot of small business don't know those things. So that's why I developed this platform called Small Biz Pro, because the Small Biz Pro, it tells you what those ratios are. There's about 7 different ratios. Banks look at primarily 3 of those. And then if you understand how those ratios work, then when you get your financials, you try to plug in your financial information, and my platform automatically calculates your ratios for you and show you what those ratios are. Now, your ratios got to be at a certain point. If we're looking at quick ratio, that's supposed to be at 1.25. 1.25, the least the bank will look at for you. If you have 1.25 or better, then you're in good standing with them. So when we do the calculation, the system does the calculation for you. You will see right in front of you exactly where you're at. So you can feel more confident when you go to those banks looking for lines of credit or funding. And I keep saying, you notice I keep saying lines of credit because many small business don't need loans. You don't need a loan, you need a line of credit. The only time you need a loan is if you're trying to buy a building to use to run your business. And if you're thinking of buying a building, you want to buy a building big enough for you and other small businesses, because you want to rent out some of that space to use that rent to help offset the cost of your business, right? If you can't afford a bigger building that you need, you shouldn't be getting a loan. Should not be getting a loan. The line of credit is the leverage you need, the cash leverage you need, so you can hire someone on the spot. Let's say you get a contract. If you get a contract, you're going to need to hire some people to help you, or you're going to need working capital to purchase stuff or make payroll. You know, those are things you use your line of credit for. And you never use all of your line of credit, guys. Never use all your line of credit all at once. You use small portions and then you pay it back. The more you pay it back, then the bigger amount you'll be able to tap into next time. When you get that line of credit, guys, at the end of the year, your balance should be back to zero. You shouldn't have any outstanding amount at the end of the year, because the banks are going to evaluate you at the end of the year. And if you owe anything, they may roll that over into a loan. You see what I'm saying? Now, you may have a $50,000 loan, your line of credit may be converted into a $50,000 loan, and then your payment on $50,000, maybe it's horrible. It may be way outside of your budget. You know, you may be spending $1,800 a monthly payment on those loans, while with the line of credit was a lot less. So keep that in mind. When I first got my line of credit, guys, I was so excited. I did all the bad things that entrepreneurs did and shouldn't do. And I went out and I spent a lot. At the end of the year, I was way outside. I was way outside of my spending amount. So the bank converted my line of credit into a loan. I was not happy, because now I'm paying over $1,000 a month for repayment on this loan, which was actually a line of credit, but because I mismanaged it and I didn't understand how to handle it responsibly, so I paid the cost. So if I went out there and I did bad things, guys, and I was consequenced by that, you don't want to have to go through the same thing. Co-host, are you back yet? Are you back, co-host?
I'm back.
Okay, my co-host is back, guys. So let's see how she sounds. She's gonna.
I've updated drivers. It's still there though.
Yeah, you sound a little better though. So.
Okay.
So we're talking about disruptive entrepreneurship.
Right, exactly. I heard you talking about capital and how that works. And that does put you in a bind. You know, financials is my thing.
Yeah.
And I see that all the time.
Definitely. You want to expand a little bit more on that?
Right. We have, in fact, I talked to a client recently, and usually when you don't have enough money for your business, what you do is you try to use your credit card.
Yeah.
But there's not enough revenue coming in that you can actually pay more on the credit card, and so you find yourself accumulating more debt.
Yeah.
And that's what.
And that's what I don't want small businesses to do, because they often, and when I say they, guys, I'm talking about all of us, because we're all small businesses. So that's what small businesses do, because they don't have anyone to offer them loans or lines of credit or anything like that. So they have to try to use their own money or borrow from friends or family, and it's just not enough. So they end up using credit cards. If you find yourself in a position where you're using credit cards to pay bills, guys, that's a big no-no. Because let's say your bill is $300 or $500, then you use a credit card to pay that. Now that bill is no longer a $300 or $500 bill. That's like maybe $600 or more, because now you're adding interest and fees and stuff on that. So keep that in mind. That's paying a much bigger bill than you should.
Exactly. So the other thing is, let's see if I can just use the headphones itself, and maybe that'll get rid of some of this problem.
Okay.
And not the microphone, because I don't know.
Yeah, technology sometimes, man, it goes crazy. So that's why, as a small business, we gotta be flexible. Be ready to move and bend in different directions at any one time, because anything can happen. You could be set up and ready to go, and all of a sudden, bam, something goes wrong. Your audio, your technology, whatever.
So true.
All right. So you ready to go through your list of items?
Hold on. Let me try this.
Okay. So while Crystal is doing that, guys, if you have any questions that you want to ask about this process, just put it in the chat for me, please. I'll be happy to address those for you. But what we're doing here, we're trying to set you guys up for 2026 FIFA World Cup, NBA All-Star Games, and other events that's going to be held at in Los Angeles. And most of those opportunities are going to be posted on the City of Los Angeles RAMP database, guys. RAMP, RAMP. And that RAMP is an acronym for something. You know, the program that I helped to design back in 1999 for the city, they've changed. It's called Bavin, LA Bavin. They've changed that to RAMP. So they have a reason why they did that. I don't know what the reason is, but they changed it. So the platform, it still works the same way, luckily. So you guys need to be registered in that platform, the RAM platform. If you don't know how to get there, you don't know how to do it, just go to Google and type City of Los Angeles RAM database. That will come up. The link will come up. You get on there, it will show you how to register, and it will show you what you need to do. Once you registered in there, guys, there's a lot of opportunities in there, a lot of opportunities being posted weekly. And a lot of the FIFA World Cup activities are going to be posted in that platform as well. So that's how you guys can start getting contracts out of that. But remember, before you go after contracts, make sure your back office and your infrastructure is set up properly. And if you want, I can do a test for you guys. I can do a test on your business, a quick assessment, and see if you guys are ready or not. Because you don't want to win a contract, and then when you win the contract, they said, okay, I need these documents from you, and you don't have it. Otherwise, they're going to just give it to the next person in line. So that will be a tough thing for you. Are you ready, co-host? Oh, co-host is still checking for things. All right. So we talk about the RAMP database, guys. Go to Google, type City of Los Angeles and RAMP database, and that will come up. And then once it comes up, you go about registering your business in there. Now, that's only a registering database where you register for opportunities. They may ask you for certification. So that certification is a different database that you certify in. You can certify with LA Metro. You can certify with Metropolitan Water District or the County of Los Angeles. Those three areas. All right. Okay. So now that we've talked about that, let's see if we have any questions here. All right. Okay. So we don't have any questions yet, but let's talk about getting ready for 2025. And let me just share this with you guys real quickly. Hold on. There's a list of documents that you guys need to have, all right? I'm going to share that with you right now. Let me share this with you guys. Okay. All right. So let me know in the chat, guys, what's your legal structure? If you're a sole proprietorship, put that. If you're an LLC, if you're an S Corp, a C Corp, or partnership, put that in there because that will save us some time. I could just go straight to those types of documents for that legal structure and let you know what it is, okay? I want to tell you what documents you need to have to run your business. So I'm going to assume that there's at least one LLC in the chat. Let me see. Let me see real quickly who's in the chat. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and assume that there's one LLC in here. So if you're an LLC, here are some of the documents that you're going to need to have, okay? In order to run your business efficiently. Your article of organization. That's the first document you need to have. That's when you register to be an LLC. Your federal tax ID number or EIN, you got to have that. Statement of information, you got to have that. That's a document that you file within 90 days of getting your article of organization. You file that with the Secretary of State, the California Secretary of State. And all of this contact information is in Small Biz Pro that you guys can just go there, click a button, and you get to those websites so you can fill out the forms. Business license. If you're conducting business in the city of Los Angeles, you want to make sure that you have a business license with the city of Los Angeles, a free license to obtain. But based on how much money you make every year, you may have to pay a little something back to the city for conducting business in the city. All right. But a business license, you need to have that. Your Dun & Bradstreet number, that's definitely a number you would need to have because either the bank or contract provider may ask you for that number. If your LLC has more than one owner, then you're going to need an operating agreement. Operating agreement, guys. That's an agreement between you and the other person. States what your role is going to be, what that person's role is going to be, how much you're going to be paid, how much that person's going to be paid. What's your level of responsibility? What's their level of responsibility? So all of those things are in there. All right. Bank accounts. You're going to need to open a bank account in the name of that business and have yourself as an authorized user on that account. If it's your business, you're an authorized user. If there are two of you, then two people have the authority on the account. If there's any permits that you need for your line of business, you want to make sure you have those. Seller's permit, if you're selling products, any kind of products you're selling, you're going to need to have a seller's permit, and you get that from the State Franchise Tax Board. All right. Business insurance. You guys need to have business insurance. A lot of people say, I don't need insurance. You need it. Because the insurance, it protects you from lawsuits and exposure to liability. That's what that insurance is all about. So many of you may say, I don't see customers, so I don't need it. And those are the worst ones that you need to be afraid of. Because the people you can't see are the ones who are more likely to hurt you. Because this is a litigious state and everybody wants to sue somebody. So keep that in mind, guys. If you're conducting business and the customer or even your competitor in the marketplace doesn't like the way you're conducting business and they feel like they want to remove you from the marketplace, they can easily file a litigious case against you just for being you. And now you're going to have to spend money to defend yourself. So that's why you want to have insurance to protect yourself. Your exposure of liability will be at least $1 million on those insurance. So keep that in mind. Now, the next item is you need to have a business plan or a business model. I talked about it a little bit earlier. And the business model has 9 areas in which you must demonstrate competency. 9 areas on your business model. You know, we talk about the value proposition. We talk about the distribution process, how you get your product to marketplace, your customer base. You know, who are your customers? What do they make up? What's the demographic of your customers? We talk about the revenue streams, different revenue streams, the different cost structures, the key activities that you do, the relationships that you build. All of those things are key in your business model, guys. A marketing plan. You need to have a marketing plan. If you're going after customers, you got to have a plan. You can't just sit there and expect customers are going to come to you because it may not work that way. You got to actively go after them. So since I'm big on government contracts, I want you guys to put a marketing plan as to how you'll go after government contract providers, because the marketing for those guys are different than the marketing for your regular customers. So you want to be able to identify, say, 7 contract providers and you may put a plan together to go after all 7, or maybe you go after 5 of those, but you're not going to get 100% hit. You may be lucky if you get 2 of those to respond to you. That's a good number right there. So keep that in mind also when you do your marketing plan for contract opportunities. Your Form W-9, you must always have that form filled out, signed, and ready. So when you get hired to do an activity, a function, then you have that form ready, because that's how you get paid. If you don't have that form ready, then the client could say, oh, we're not going to pay you until you get that form to us, because that's how they report that kind of earnings to the IRS, to let them know that you did some work for them and they paid you money for that. That's how the IRS know what kind of money you make and from who. Balance sheet and profit and loss. You're going to need to have those, guys. So even if it's your first year in business, you need to put together balance sheet and profit and loss. If you don't know how to do it, you get a bookkeeper that can help you. Let me see if my co-host is back here. Co-host, you're back?
Me?
Oh, you're here.
I think.
You sound a little better.
Hopefully.
Yeah, you sound a little better.
Okay.
You sound a little better. All right. So let me run through this list and then I'll hand it over to you. Okay. All right, guys. So again, this is for an LLC. If you're an LLC, these are the things you need to have in your business, their back office, your infrastructure to make you ready. So we talk about the balance sheet and the P&L. You need to have those ready. You know, just remember this, the P&L is about the sales that you generate, okay? How much sales you generate, what's your overhead, and how much do you have left after you pay all your bills and expenses. The balance sheet is who you owe and who owes you, all right? So keep those things in mind. I ask a lot of my clients, what is the difference between a balance sheet? First, I ask them, what is a balance sheet? Then I ask them, what is the difference between a balance sheet and a P&L? And many of them don't know. So I want you guys to start thinking about those things, because that's important. I see a lot of people in the marketplace say they're entrepreneurs. And I say, you're an entrepreneur, really? I said, do you know what a balance sheet is? Never heard of it. You're not an entrepreneur. You never heard about a balance sheet or a P&L, you're not an entrepreneur, okay? Keep that in mind. So the next thing I want to talk about is a capability statement. You need to have one of those. Capability statement is a one-page marketing document that tells people who you are, what you do, how you can help them solve their pain in the marketplace, and how you can do it better than the competition. That's really what the capability statement is, all right? If you have employees, you want to make sure you have an employee handbook, so your employee will know what type of rules to operate by. The next form that a lot of small business don't even know about is a Form I-9. I-9 is a form that's generated by Homeland Security. It's a federal form. That tells the feds if the employees you're working with are authorized to work in the United States. You gotta have that form completed and available so they can just request an audit with you at any time. And by looking at that form, they can tell how many employees you have and if those employees are authorized to work in the United States, because you're gonna have to show proof. You have to show proof, like driver's license, birth certificate, passport, those types of things. All right, certifications. We talked a little bit about that. I told you guys there are 24 different types of certifications here in the county of Los Angeles, and I can teach workshops on all of those. So if you guys are interested in any type of certification, put your contact info in the chat so I can respond to that and set up a workshop for you guys so you can learn the different types. Then if you have employees, there's a form called Form DE-9C. Form DE-9C is a state form. That form is sent to EDD. And when you hire employees, you got to fill out that form, send to the state and say, hey, I hired these employees. This is the wage rate that I'm paying them at. These are the number of hours they're working per week. This is their duties. And this is their social security number. So those are things that's required. So you see how the government they've got their infrastructure, you got to have yours too. Because the infrastructure that the government has, the state provides certain information. You provide certain information to the state, and you provide certain information to the feds. Those two agencies can talk, the feds and the state. So they say, okay, does this guy have employees? So let me ask you, do you have employees? No. Ask the state, do you have employees? Yes. So now there's conflicting information. So they're going to compare what you submit to the state and what you submit to the feds, and they can know if you're lying or not. You see what I mean? So that's why you guys need to be on top of your game and have all your information correct. So those are the forms that I'm talking about right now for LLCs, guys. Build your back office, have everything in order. And if you have any questions, please put it in the chat. My co-host is going to talk about the next section of how entrepreneurship is trending.
At least she hopes she and it's still there.
Well, we can hear you. We can hear you a little better.
Okay. Let's see if that works. Hate to hear feedback. Yeah. Hold on. Let me try one more thing. Just try one second and then.
Okay, go ahead and do that. So while you're doing that, I'll do sole proprietorship because I see there's at least 2 sole props here in the chat. So go ahead and do that. So for those of you who are sole proprietorships, I'm going to tell you what type of documents you need to have. And again, using Small Biz Pro is going to help you guys a lot because you don't even need to think about what documents you need to have. Small Biz Pro tells you what documents you should have. And you just follow the procedures in Small Biz Pro. And Pat has been using Small Biz Pro for a year now, and she's saying big ups to Small Biz Pro. Everything she needs is right there in the palm of her hand in her smartphone by logging into Small Biz Pro in the app. So follow her lead, guys. Follow her lead. All right. So for a sole prop, the documents that you're going to need, first one is your fictitious business name. You got to file that with a county of Los Angeles if you're in that county. If you're in another county, you file it with that county office. All right. So fictitious business name is the first thing you need to have, or your DBA. Then your EIN tax ID. As a sole prop, never use your social security number ever in business. All right. So you get a tax ID number for your sole prop. Business license, you want to have that. That still is required. Because the reason you need a business license, if you're taking money from customers, you're taking money from them, you're providing them a service, they got to have a license to do that. And that's why you need a business license. So whether you're online or whether you're in person, you have a storefront, still need a business license. And it's good for you guys to do with some of the cities and counties out there. So City of Los Angeles and the County of Los Angeles, they always have grants going on. But they'll never give it to you unless you can demonstrate you got a business license. So that's another advantage right there. If you have a business license, you can gain access to grants. Dun & Bradstreet number, you're going to need that as a sole prop. And again, we'll show you how to do that. If you don't know how to apply for your Dun & Bradstreet number, you go to www. The letter D as in David, N as in Nancy, B as in Buchanan.com. So www.dnb.com. That's where you go to get that number. All right. The next thing you need to have as a sole prop, your bank account. You need to have a bank account in your name, your business's name, right? As you as the authorized signer on that. Then you have permits. You get whatever permits you need based if you're selling a product. If you're not selling products, you don't need a permit. All right. Business license, business insurance, you need to have that. And again, if you guys need business insurance, I'm doing insurance right now with a company online. So my co-host does the same too. So if you guys need for us to send you that information, you can reach out to them. My insurance was $500 a year. Now it's been cut down to $275, guys. So you need to have that insurance. Business model, we talked about that. Every business entity needs to have a business model because that's how you can articulate what your plans are, how you're going to go about generating the money you need, how you're going to get it from the type of demographic you have. Marketing plan, we talk about that. You want to have your marketing plan is going to be divided into 2 sectors. one for the contract providers and one for the regular customers that come in that do transactional business with you every day. Okay, so that's how you want to do that. The Form W-9, you want to have that for your sole prop too. We talked about that. And the balance sheet and profit and loss. You got to have that in every business. That's how you measure your money coming in and your money going out. That's how you can tell if you're solvent or not. If you're going out of business, you're broke or not broke. Those balance sheets and PLLs tell you a lot about that. And I want to put this out there, guys, because a lot of small businesses that I've talked to, I notice they get in this habit. Do not, as a small business, lend money to anyone. Do not lend money. You're not a bank. Don't lend it to your family members, your friends, your kids, nobody. You're not a bank, guys. And I'm telling you this for a reason, because I've had clients who do that. And then when they submit their financials to banks or different entities, and they see where that money is going out, they say, hey, what's this loss right here? What is this? They say, oh, that was a loan I gave to my brother. No, you're not a bank. So we're not going to give you our money so you can lend to other people. So you can lose a bank line of credit or bank loan that way by giving money to people. Because most of the times you lend money to people, you don't get it back. You do not get it back. So keep that in mind. And then capability statements, you want to have that. Your employee handbook, if you have an employee, many sole proprietorship, they operate with anywhere from 1 to 5 employees. That's usually how that works. So if you have any employees, you want to have the employee handbook to provide guidance for them so they know what to do and what not to do. And then the certifications we talked about as a sole prop, you want to make sure you get, at least 3 certifications that you can go after different type of contracts and make that work for you. So those are the docs you need, guys, as a sole prop. Again, reach out to me if you have any questions or you want to get this form so I can this checklist so I can send it to you guys too. Over to you, co-host.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I think it's still a feedback. I don't know how to get rid of the feedback.
Turn up your volume a little bit. And maybe you could.
Yeah, I don't think that's it. I think there's it's something going on with the computer.
Okay, go ahead and just. I'm sure the audience will forgive you today.
Sorry, guys. I tried everything now. Okay. So basically, what Gilbert is saying is that you want to make sure that your business is business ready. In order to do that, then you want to make sure that basically all your ducks are in a row. Now, one of the things that we are talking about today is that in my world, which is the financial world, Gilbert's is his world, but mine is the financial world, and in the world, you really want to make sure that there is enough revenue coming into your business. Because even if you're doing contracts, that's a problem if you don't have enough revenue coming into your business that is going to help you be able to grow your business. So revenue is really important. So most of us, when we start a traditional business, it was all about where can I raise money. Now there are some instances where that is where you have to do that, right? It's viable that you have to do that, especially if you're creating a product or you're a food-based business. Yeah, you do have to have money because you have to have staff. But in a solo practice or an independent practice, you don't necessarily have staff because you are the staff. And so the question is not how do I raise money? The question is how much money can I make this week, right? How much money do I need in order to in order to be able to take care of all my expenses every month. And then at the end of that, how much money do I have left that I've made in profit? So you kind of have to back into it. You have to tally up all of your expenses, and a great way to do that is through a business plan. I mean, through an accounting system. Yeah, I can still hear that feedback. I just can't hear. Sorry, guys. That's really bad, Gilbert.
What do you want to do?
Well, I think, why don't you go ahead and finish up? We got about 15 minutes, and then I can work out it from there.
Okay, no worries. So, guys, do you have any questions so far? Any questions at all? Just put it in the chat. Spruce said this is very helpful. And, Spruce, tell us a little bit about your business. How long you've been in business and what type of business do you have? Pat, I know what type of business Pat has. She has a notary business. Fernando, tell us again about your business. And also, Andrea, we know you've got an electrical business, but if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about the status of that. If you're working with any current contract providers, that would be good too. So tell us about that. So then, I can gauge where you guys are and kind of tell you at this point where you're at, what are some of the things you need to be focusing on. So while you're getting ready to put that information in the chat, I just want to at least go over some other stuff for you guys because, like I say, business is trending in a different direction right now, a different direction. And because it's going in different directions, there are all types of things coming at you. Not only do you have the customers coming at you differently, you have your competitors coming at you, you have contract providers, the marketplace, everything. Because in the marketplace, you've got government, and government has their rules and regulations. They add different things, fees, taxes, and all those things that can impact your business from time to time. So let's look at that. Now, here's some basic things you guys need to have in your business. Because the key thing is you're gonna have to go after contracts, right? So to go after contracts, you gotta have an awareness of the type of work that you've done over the last 5 years. What type of work have you done, and for whom? What type of clients have you done this for? Have you done it for the city, the municipalities, the county? Have you done it for the state? They've done it for the feds. Have you done it for private organizations? Those are things you need to have ready because that's information you're going to need to put in your proposal. Because with all of those things, you're going to have pricing. So let's say two of us are proposing on a project, and I've done work for a city, county. Let's use those two as clients, city and county. So for whatever the project is, I'm thinking of putting, say, my pricing to be $150,000. That's my pricing. And then the other person has not done any contracts with the city or the county or anything like that. They've just done some work with private individuals. Their contract amount wasn't that high, and they're trying to bid, say, $175,000. So I'm bidding $150,000, they're bidding $175,000. Even without looking at further qualifications, what are some of the things you think the contract provider is going to say? With me bidding $150,000, the other person bidding $175,000. They're going to say, okay, this person looks like they have experience with government contracts. The other one doesn't, but the other one is bidding more. So now they want to know, okay, why does your bid cost more when your exposure doesn't seem as if you have all that experience. So tell us some more about something that we probably don't even know about you. So those are things you guys want to look at when you're thinking about submitting a proposal. All right. All right. So I'm looking at Fernando's right here. Fernando said, thanks for asking. I'm an AI strategist. I help people use AI in systems, also to set up AI bots to make sales, send emails and texts, invest in real estate at this time. This is good. This is good, Fernando. This is very good because, see, we've known you for a while now, and we didn't know these are some of the things you do. So it's good for you guys to share these things about your business. This is what we call core competencies. You're sharing your core competencies, and some of this we didn't know. I'm sure people close to you probably didn't even know these things. So this is good. Thanks for sharing that, Fernando. This is great. This is great. I appreciate that because a lot of us can benefit from some of what you do. You know, we could probably hire you to do some AI marketing bots for us to send out email and stuff to some of our clients. So that's good. And by the way, Fernando, why don't you come on the show and be a guest on the show so we could talk more about that and get that information out to the public? That would be great. All right. So now let's look at Spruce and Gusset. Spruce and Gusset. Okay. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. So Spruce and Gusset said, I sell vintage clothing, home goods, decor, jewelry, mostly through e-commerce for approximately 5 years now. But he does it, they do it full time for the last 2 years and need to level up with my own website and possibly storefront. That's good. That's good to learn, Spruce and Gusset. So I believe that you guys should be enrolling in our workshop, one for the certification and two for the next level contract readiness, because you're going to get a lot of coaching, a lot of consulting, a lot of hand holding. You know, I don't know who you guys are getting your knowledge from right now, if you're with any agencies or anything to that effect. But you guys need seasoned people to guide you. You know, I've been in the industry for over 30 years. So thank you for that, Spruce and Gusset. All right. Let's see who else we got here. All right. So I know that we also have Pat here on the line, and Pat does mobile notary services. So if you need documents to be signed and notarized and you don't know where to find a notary, Pat will come to you. She will come to you and have these documents signed for you right there and then, and make it convenient for you. So you may want to check that out too. Check out that service. If you're in the banking business and you need to have loan docs signed, real estate wise, that's Pat also. She can do that for you. And also, if you're a small business that's certified, every year you got to renew your certification, and some of those certification applications need to be notarized. So that's another thing that she can do for you. When you're submitting a proposal for a contract opportunity, many of those proposals need to be notarized. So that's another way Pat can help you guys too. So you guys kind of see how we're giving you some free marketing and promotion here on this podcast. That's what we do, guys. That's what we do to help small businesses grow and help them to become self-sufficient. So, you know, in order to make this better, you come on the show, request an interview. We'll bring you on the show and we can interview you, talk about your business, who your clientele is, how did you get started, those types of things. All right. So yeah, I appreciate you guys providing me the information on your companies and let us know, what is it you do. So Spruce and Gussit said, mostly through the new Economics for Women program. That's how I found Crystal, and through Verizon Digital Ready. The others are free online courses. So thank you for that, Spruce and Gussit. I appreciate that. Crystal is a solid person. So if you're in her classes, then I know that you've gotten some great information, because she's been doing this for a while now, and she's very knowledgeable about not only the bookkeeping and accounting, but she's also knowledge about business and infrastructure too, how it works, and some level of marketing. Crystal, you back?
Nope.
You're still working on it, huh? Okay. Oh, Pat. Thank you, Pat. Much respect to you, Pat. Hope everything is going well. So let me, since we're almost at the bottom of the show, let me just go over some other stuff that might be beneficial to some of you guys. So here are some of the things that can impact your business, and you guys want to think about this. So we talk about the capital trap. We talked about a capital trap, right? That's the first thing, that, not having capital can really hinder you, and it can handcuff you to the business a lot, right? Could be crushing. And when you don't have capital, it forces you into debt, because now you got to use credit cards and all those things, and you don't want to do that. Here's another thing to think about: your overhead. Your overhead can become a nightmare for you, because you're taking on certain costs to run the business, and the more you're taking on costs, the more you're thinking that, all right, this may help me to get some sales, this may help me to get some business. And most of the times when you take on overhead, it's usually because you got to bring in employees, you got to take out insurance, or some of you got to get equipment to run the business. As a matter of fact, speaking of that, I spoke to a client today. She has a t-shop business, and she's a t-shirt business, and she's trying to sell it. So, and she has machinery. She has machinery costing over 100,000 that she used on these t-shirts. So, if you guys are interested, or if anyone was interested in buying a t-shirt business, let me know. I'll forward her information to you guys, and you guys can talk about it. I don't want to be in the middle. I don't want to be a broker. I don't want to be any of that. I just want to put you guys together, and you guys talk about how you want to move forward, and you can negotiate your pricing and all of that. But yeah, because I know some people probably don't want to start a business from scratch. They just want to take an existing business and run with it. So that's another thing. But equipment can be a big nightmare, overhead nightmare for you. Inventory, depending on the type of business you have, that could be one. So keep those things in the back of your mind when you're looking at it. Now, sometimes you may want to purchase a location, but at the current time, your finances may not permit you to purchase a location. So you could lease it too. You could lease it, and lease it with terms. You can do a lease to own or lease to buy, those types of things. So part of the proceeds of the lease that you're paying may go towards your sales price. Your buying price. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind as well. Here's another issue that you may want to think about in the business is the process of the problem of speed. Speeding things up within the organization, making sure things are done in a timely manner. And when it comes to speed, part of what may hinder you is payment. The speed of payment may take a little while. Some of you may, when you bill your clients, you may bill them net 30. That means you want your money within 30 days. And you may not get it in 30 days, may get it 45, 60, some even 90 days. Don't let it get to that, guys. If it goes beyond 30 days, you're not doing a good job in managing your finances. Because I'm not just saying this to step all over you, but I'm saying this because that's how the banks look at small businesses. First of all, they classify small business as fledgling. You know what fledgling means? Fledgling means that you're here today, you're gone tomorrow. You're not officially anchored in the community or in the marketplace, because you may not have the money, you may not have certain resources. So therefore, if you don't have it, you're going to close doors. So that's how banks look at many small businesses as fledgling. So that's why the speed at which you collect your money is very important. Don't let any of your customers try to owe you beyond 30 days. Because if you let them get away with that, just like having a kid, when a kid get away with certain things, they're going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Same thing with these customers. And then when the bankers look at your finances, your financial statements, they go, this person is not a good money manager. I'm not giving them my money. So keep that in mind. Speed is very important. All right. Here's another item. One size fits all. That's a myth. So if certain business operate within a certain space and the market, I'm sorry, the market perceives them a certain way, then they're going to think it's a one size fit all type deal, and it may not work that way. Some people need to scale their business. In order to grow, they need to scale. If you don't scale your business, chances are it could die, and it could die soon. You've heard that many small businesses die within the first 3 years of operation, right? I think they say 80% of that. Well, that's usually because the small business don't understand the marketplace. They don't understand their business. They don't understand the customers and those types of things. So we're not trying to do that. We're not trying to do that at all. So let's see which other pointer I can give you guys. One final tip here. So expertise barrier. So many of you come to the marketplace with a certain level of expertise. And the reason you start your business is because you have expertise in a certain area. So you use that expertise to start the business, but sometimes the expertise alone isn't enough. You need to bring on different talents on the team, different talents to help you out. Like, for example, you may need marketing. Fernando here does marketing, and many of you guys may not be strong in marketing. Maybe he can help you guys with that, and vice versa. Crystal does financing and bookkeeping and accounting. So that's an expertise and strength, a skill, a talent that you guys need. So that's how I want you guys to work. I believe small businesses work better when they team up together, when they team up in 2 or 3. All right. So one help out with one type of resource, the other one help out with another type of resource. So marketing, financing, operations, legal, all of you guys need legal support. And many of you may not know how to get it. So again, I'm using a group of attorneys that help me, and I only pay like $40 a month. So if this is something you guys are interested in, put it in the chat. I'll send you the information. You guys can go check them out and audition them, see if they're any good and if they can help you achieve your objective. But you always want to have legal. Big part of the reason you want to have legal, when customers are not paying you, you have legal, send them a letter. Hey, you owe my customer money, pay. Okay, so keep that in mind. So with that being said, guys, I'm just gonna wrap it up right here. But in summarizing all of this, I want to say traditional entrepreneurship is really too slow the way things are being done right now. So you're gonna have to take things next level. Next level is how people do things online. People do things expeditiously in a digital format. That's why we have this back office called Small Biz Pro to help you guys. If you need certain documents, you're in the field, you can just log in with your smartphone, 6 seconds or less, you have that document. You send it somewhere. So those are the types of things. The platform also has contracts in it. So if you got any contracts, and contracts in all 50 states. So you can tap in, get what type of contract, go after what type of contracts you want. There are also grants in there. So if you need grants, you know, if you're a nonprofit, and some for-profit, there are grants for some for-profit. You can check that out too. So put your information in the chat, guys, if you really want me to send you something and tell you when our next program is being run. But don't let 2026 come around and you guys are not ready, okay? And I apologize for my co-host not having the proper sounding on her device. Every now and again, you have the devil that's sitting on these podcasts with us. He's sitting on these podcasts with us and trying to disrupt everything, you know. But we never let that happen because we're entrepreneurs. You want to say a few words, co-host, before?
I'm gonna say bye.
My co-host said bye, guys. And again, you know her. You know, she's got this podcast and she got another podcast that she does every Thursday. So she's a big community person. She's got all types of information for all of you guys. So, and plus she runs an entrepreneurship boot camp for youth, for teenagers. So she's all over the place making those things happen, guys. When she's not here, she's traveling to New York to competition to help these young entrepreneurs. So thank you guys today for joining us. I hope you guys got some valuable information from us today and be able to implement some of this in your business to get you ready for 2026. Guys, you got to be ready. If you're not ready for 2026, you might want to just pack it up. And I don't want you guys to do that. So just take these things, all right? We're on every Friday from 3 to 4:30. This is the Business Zone, and it's with Crystal and Gilbert. Crystal is my co-host. She's amazing, and Gilbert is amazing too. I know that guy. He's wonderful. Okay, folks. So what we're going to do, we're going to say so long to you guys, and then we'll see you guys next Friday. And let me check before I log out of here if there's any emails that I need to respond to. I just want to make sure I get those emails. Oh, and let me put my phone number and email in here. So let me do that first. So this is Coach Gilbert. Co-host, you want to say something while I'm writing?
Not really. Just everyone have a great weekend and be safe.
All right, definitely. So here's my email, guys. All right. So Gilbert@thebuchanangroup.net. Phone number is 626-533-1186. And then you got Crystal here, Coach Crystal Mitchell, cmitchell544@gmail.com. So go ahead and do a quick screenshot of that, guys, and make sure you got it before I log out of here. But I really appreciate you guys being on here, telling us about your business, so we can have an idea how we can help you. Okay. And if you want to be a guest on this podcast, guys, reach out to us by email or phone. Let us know you want to be a guest, and we will get you set up so you can be one of our next guests. All right? So with that being said, make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe to the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. All righty? You guys have a good.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a business